So if you're into credit cards, you've probably heard about the infamous Chase Trifecta and the countless benefits it can have as a low-cost, budget-friendly setup. This is largely due to its simple multiplier structure and its flexible redemption options. Now, while this Trifecta is great, there are of course the Chase Ink business cards that can also be used in a Trifecta setup, and both of these setups earn points through the Chase Ultimate Rewards system. But is this setup better than the classic Chase Trifecta? Well, in this video, I'm going to cover both of these Trifectas, compare them head to head, and then explain which one I think is better and if there's a hybrid Trifecta that you should definitely consider. And the first thing we should do is define each Trifecta so we're all on the same page. The classic Chase Trifecta consists of the Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Freedom Flex, and the Chase Freedom Unlimited cards. Of course, the Chase Sapphire Reserve can be used in place of the Chase Sapphire Preferred, but since there's no equivalent card on the Chase business card side, we're not going to include the CSR in today's comparison. Now on the business card side, Chase also has its Ink series, which can also be put into a Trifecta setup. If we mirror the Ink cards to their personal card equivalents, the Ink Trifecta consists of the Chase Ink Preferred, Chase Ink Cash, and the Chase Ink Unlimited cards. So now we know what each Trifecta looks like, but what makes them different? Well, to start, let's go through each card by function and compare the personal and business equivalents by function. We're going to start with the catch-all category cards first, which are the Chase Freedom Unlimited and the Chase Ink Unlimited. We're then going to move to the 5% category cards, which are the Chase Freedom Flex and the Chase Ink Cash. And then we'll cover the mid-tier cards for each Trifecta, which are the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Chase Ink Preferred. And just as a quick note, I'm also going to mention the sign-up bonuses as of the recording of this video, but as you all know, all sign-up bonuses are subject to change, so they may be different depending on when you see this video. So starting with the Chase Freedom Unlimited card, this is a no annual fee credit card with a sign-up bonus of 20,000 Ultimate Rewards points after spending $500 in purchases in the first 3 months after account opening. There's also a 5x point grocery store offer on up to $12,000 spent in the first year. You earn 5x back on travel purchase through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, 3x on dining, including takeout and delivery services, 3x back on drugstore purchases, and 1.5x back on all other purchases. And the Chase Ink Unlimited card is also a no annual fee credit card that has a sign-up bonus of 90,000 Ultimate Rewards points after spending $6,000 in the first 3 months after account opening. The only multiplier on this card is to earn unlimited 1.5x back on every purchase, and this card comes with primary auto rental collision damage waiver or CTW when renting for business purposes. The next set of cards are the 5% rotating category cards, and we're going to start with the Chase Freedom Flex. The Chase Freedom Flex is a no annual fee credit card with a sign-up bonus of 20,000 Ultimate Rewards points after spending $500 in purchases in the first 3 months after account opening, as well as a 5x grocery store offer on up to $12,000 spent in the first year. You earn 5x points back on up to $1,500 in combined purchases in quarterly bonus categories that are revealed approximately 15 days prior to that quarter starting. And just like the Chase Freedom Unlimited, you also earn 5x points back on travel purchased through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, 3x points back on dining, including takeout and delivery services, 3x on drugstore purchases as well, but you only earn 1x points back on all other purchases. And this card also comes with cell phone protection. Next up, we have the Chase Ink Cash card, and this is one of my favorite cards. The Chase Ink Cash card is also a no annual fee credit card that has a sign-up bonus of 90,000 Ultimate Rewards points after spending $6,000 in the first 3 months after account opening. It earns 5x points back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases at office supply stores and on internet, cable, and phone services each account anniversary year, 2x back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases at gas stations and restaurants each account anniversary year, and 1x back on all other purchases. And this card also comes with primary auto rental CTW when renting for business purposes. And now we come to the cards that help complete the Trifectas, and those cards would be the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Chase Ink Preferred. Starting with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, this card has an annual fee of $95 with a sign-up bonus of earning 60,000 Ultimate Rewards points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months after account opening. You earn 5x points back on travel purchased through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, 3x points back on dining, including takeout and delivery services, 3x points back on online groceries, 3x points back on streaming services, 2x points back on travel, and 1x points back on everything else. You also get a $50 statement credit for each account anniversary year for hotel stays purchased through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, a 10% anniversary point bonus, and additional partner benefits with Lyft, Instacart, DoorDash, and GoPuff. Next up, we have the Chase Ink Preferred, which comes with a $95 annual fee and earns 100,000 Ultimate Rewards points after spending $15,000 on purchases in the first 3 months after account opening. This card earns 3x points back for the first $150,000 spent on shipping purchases, internet, cable, and phone services, advertising purchases, and travel, as well as 1x points back on all other purchases. And what's important to know about these two cards is that they both come with primary auto CDW, no foreign transaction fees, and 2 redemption options that increase the value of your Ultimate Rewards points. The first is a 25% redemption bonus when you redeem for travel through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. And the second is the ability to transfer your Ultimate Rewards points to transfer partners, which will allow you to get outsized value for your redemptions. Okay, so those are the 6 cards that make up each trifecta. So now let's put all of this together to compare them both. Starting with the sign-up bonuses, the classic Chase Trifecta has a combined sign-up bonus of 100,000 Ultimate Rewards points after spending a combined total of $5,000, and this represents a total return on spend of 20%. Of course, I'm skipping over the 5x grocery multiplier for the first year since that's not always going to be there, but of course, this will still definitely add to the total points earned. The Chase Ink Trifecta has a combined sign-up bonus of, get this, 280,000 Ultimate Rewards points after spending a combined total of $27,000, which is a return on spend of about 10%. So you get a little more than double the return on spend with the classic Chase Trifecta compared to the Ink Trifecta with a much lower minimum spend. Next up, we have the annual fees, and for both setups, the total annual fees are $95, which is great for any Trifecta setup. Multipliers for the classic Chase Trifecta covers 5x on travel, purchase of the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, 5x on quarterly rotating categories, 3x on dining, online groceries, drugstore, and streaming services, 2x on travel, and 1.5x back on all other purchases. The Ink Trifecta gets 5x points back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases at office supply stores and on internet, cable, and phone services each year, 3x points back on the first $150,000 spent on shipping purchases, ad purchases, and travel, 2x points back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases at gas stations and restaurants each year, and 1.5x back on all other purchases. And as for benefits, both Trifectas have a 25% redemption bonus when using the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal and the ability to transfer UR points to transfer partners. But the Chase Sapphire Preferred also has that $50 statement credit every year for hotel stays booked through Chase Ultimate Rewards, a 10% anniversary point bonus, and additional partner benefits with Lyft, Instacart, DoorDash, and GoPuff. Now, with all that being said, which Trifecta is best? Well, of course, each Trifecta is built differently depending if the expenses are for personal type spending or business type spending. And ultimately, it's going to depend on your expenses in each of the relevant categories, so it's not really an apples to apples comparison, but overall, I think the classic Chase Trifecta is the one that I would recommend. The amount of value you get from the classic Chase Trifecta is really insane when you look at all of the cards put together, including the sign-up bonuses, multipliers, and benefits for a very reasonable $95 annual fee. The two categories that are seemingly not covered well in this trifecta are groceries and gas purchases. And yes, the CSP does have online groceries, but I'm going to go ahead and say that that doesn't count. Even though these two categories can be covered if offered by the Chase Freedom Flex during a quarter where it offers a 5x category, this is only offered for about 3 months, so it's not as useful as if you had that in category the entire year. The Chase Ink Trifecta covers a lot of common categories as well, such as travel, dining, and gas, and really the only missing category is groceries, but this really isn't too surprising because groceries isn't really a common business category, although I'm sure that there are some businesses that would find this category to be helpful. So those are my thoughts on a direct comparison, but I also want to bring up one more scenario. What if we were to mix and match cards from both trifectas? Would there be a better hybrid trifecta setup combining the Sapphire, Freedom, and Ink cards? In my opinion, yes, I think there is, and let me show you what that setup would look like. For the catch-all card, I would definitely pick the Chase Freedom Unlimited. This card not only has the all-important 1.5x catch-all category, but also has those other 5x and 3x categories that can add additional valuable multipliers to your hybrid setup. The next card is the 5x category card, and for this, I choose the Chase Ink Cash over the Chase Freedom Flex. The main difference between these two cards is their offerings of 5x categories. While the Freedom Flex offers 5x on quarterly categories that are unpredictable with a cap of $1,500, the Chase Ink Cash offers 5x on set categories with a cap of $25,000. I think there's much more strategic flexibility when you go with known categories that don't change. Of course, the Chase Freedom Flex does have cell phone protection, so you'll be missing out on that, but overall, I think the Chase Ink Cash offers better value. And then we get to the mid-tier cards, the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Chase Ink Preferred. And for these two cards, the Chase Sapphire Preferred comes out on top. Both cards offer the 25% redemption bonus when buying travel on the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, as well as offering access to transfer partners. But the Sapphire Preferred has that $50 hotel statement credit, 10% anniversary bonus, and partner offerings, which makes it, in my opinion, more valuable than the Chase Ink Preferred. I will say that the Chase Ink Preferred sign-up bonus can be great for those of you who have a larger purchase coming up, but this is more of a niche case, so I would just keep that option in mind. You also have the added bonus that the CIC covers the internet, cable, and phone services category at 5x, so the similar 3x categories on the Ink Preferred won't be missed. Of course, the best Chase Trifecta for you is going to depend on your spending habits and what you're ultimately using these cards for, but the Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Ink Cash, and Chase Freedom Unlimited are my picks for the best hybrid Chase Trifecta. And if you want to know more about how I use my Chase Ink cards, check out this video here where I go over my entire credit card portfolio.